Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl once again, Angela, and today in this video I'll be giving you a breakdown of the average spend per month for an international student here in Ireland, or just generally anybody that is moving here to work or to study. This applies to you as well, so if this is something you're interested in, to keep watching. So now when it comes to spending money, everyone is on different levels. So this is not a one size fits all kind of budget or breakdown, but it is something that everyone can work with. And at the end of the day, your budget is based on your pocket. So some people don't mind spending extra coins on certain things while some others do. So do you find out what you want to spend more money on. For someone like me, I would rather spend more money on accommodation, on rent, where I live and what I eat. For some other person it might be on entertainment. It might be, don't get me wrong, I love visiting restaurants and all of that, but pick your struggle. Pick your struggle and stick to it. So let's get right into it. Of course, the first and the most, would I say, the most important thing when it comes to budgeting or knowing how much you would spend, one big thing that takes a big chunk of your money is rent. So rent is one of those things that just takes a big chunk of your money. And to be honest, it depends on what you want. So now we all know that rent is high in Ireland, most especially in Dublin. So put that at the back of your mind. Your rent is going to be high. Let's just get that out of the way. There are certain factors that affect your how high your rent is going to be. Take for instance, if you want an ensuite room or you don't mind sharing a bathroom with some person, do you want a place that is close to the city center or farther away from it? Now for me, the first accommodation I stayed at when I came to Ireland was for 800 per month, all inclusive, double room, ensuite, close to a bus stop, 15 minutes, about 15 to 20 minutes to the city center. But generally, I'd say for a single room, 600 to say 750 or thereabout. And for a double ensuite room, I'd say between 700 to 800 and 850. And stretching further down there is more closer to the 800s and upwards, to be honest. So at the end of the day, do you? So monthly, I'd say between 600 to 850, you can get a decent accommodation here in Ireland. Now secondly, it is food. Food is very important. So there are different stores here. We have Lidl, we have Aldi, we have Tesco, we have Super Value, we have our African stores, Asian stores, and all of that. I'd say now, I don't know, I might be wrong, but for me, I prefer to shop at Tesco and Lidl. I think Lidl is the cheapest. I think. I'm not sure. But I think it is the cheapest. There's also Don's as well, which is also a great store. All these stores have their own brands of, let's say, for juice, for fruits, for veggies, and all of that. And they're usually cheaper. So when you go to Don stores, they usually have other brands of groceries and things there. But the Don's brand, they also have their own things there. So they're usually cheaper. Same with Tesco, Lidl, Aldi, and so on and so forth. So that's something to take note of. For a student, I'd say budget between 150 to 200 per month. Now, this can go up or down depending on how you eat and the kind of things that you like to eat. If you like to eat like salmon, fish, prawns, and all of that, then it might be going up a bit. If you like to, buy your wine and stuff like that. Yeah, so it depends, but I'd say a decent amount is between 150 to 200, more on the 200 side, to be honest. Yeah, so the next thing I'd say that you'd spend on is transportation. Now, Here in Ireland, or I've not been to many counties in Ireland, but for Dublin, I know you can move around using the bus, the tram, or the train. As a student, you have access to getting a discount on your Leap card. Basically, it's a card that you use to get on the bus, get on the tram, on the train, or yeah, basically to move around in Dublin or in Ireland, if I must say. So for the Leap card, there's one for students, for adults. For me, I've used the student and now I'm on the adult because I cannot apply for students again. Now you get, once you come in, if you're a student, you can register to get your Leap card. So with the student card, usually it has your picture on it and you get discounts on the bus card. But for the adults, there's no picture on it, it's just normal. And then you get, yeah, it's a bit higher. You pay higher than the students, than the students basically. So you can top this card up based on how you want to, and usually there are daily caps and weekly caps. So there's a certain amount that no depending on how you use the card, you cannot be charged more than that amount per day. So generally I'd say you can spend 15 to 20 euros per week on transportation if you're a student, and if you're someone that goes to work like every day of the week, that comes up to about 60 to 80 per month on transportation. Yeah. So the next thing is your phone bills. Very, very important. There are different mobile providers here in Ireland. There is Vodafone, there is Lyca, Tesco Mobile, Air, which one again? I'm forgetting one. I use Vodafone. So every month I pay 20 euros for my phone bills and I get 20 gig of data, unlimited Vodafone to Vodafone calls and text messages, and I get 100 minutes of calls to other networks here in Ireland and 100 text messages to other networks as well. For international calls, I use a VoIP app, $10. That stays for like a month. So I'll say in a month, like 30 euros covers me for a month. So 20 to 30 euros per month, depending on your usage. Basically, if you're going to be making more international calls, please use WhatsApp and FaceTime to keep in touch with your family and your friends. The next thing that you'd most likely be spending your money on is entertainment, and this is your hanging out, your movies, your subscriptions for Netflix, Amazon Prime, Iroko TV, what else again? Apple Music, Spotify, all of them. Yes, it could go. If you're someone that goes out a lot, like one outing can, like 50 euros just go like that. So depending on that, and your subscriptions can come up to 20 euros. So if you're not the going out type, of course that would be less, but if you're always going out, maybe budget like 100 or like 100 euro per month, or 150 to be honest. You go to the club, you're buying drinks, like your money is just going like this. You're ordering food online, Deliveroo, Uber Eats. Money is going. So yeah. And then of course the last but not the least that I'll mention is your personal care, which is your toiletries and things you spend on grooming, hair, cutting your hair, making your hair. The cheapest I've made braids here in Ireland is 80 euros, and this is minus the hair extension. So you can be looking to say 100 or thereabout for if you're making braids. And yeah, it's quite expensive here. So I'd say, major on just wearing wigs. And for guys, I think a haircut is either 5 euro or 10 euros, I think, per haircut. So now with all this that I've said, I think if my calculation is right, I think everything will come up to about 1,100 or 1,200. Now, this is of course plus or minus 100 or 200, depending on your spending habits. There are unforeseen things that might happen. Like life happens, and you never know what might come up that you'd need to spend extra cash on. So yes, plus or minus 100 or 200 euros. So I generally say, with 1,100, 1,200, you'd be good, every month to live well here in Ireland. So I hope this video has helped to give you an idea of what you might likely be spending here in Ireland. Of course, if you're into shopping a lot, buying clothes, shoes, perfumes, makeup, you're a shopaholic, or you just like to shop, of course, that money is going to be jumping. Yeah. Use this to, kind of build an idea of how much you should budget when you're coming. I'd say when you're coming to study, at least have money that would sustain you for the first 6 months. At least within that 6 months, you'd be able to find maybe a job, a part-time job to support you, and you'll be fine. So yeah, I guess this is where I draw the curtains, and see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And also leave your questions if you have any in the comment section below. So until my next video, be safe.